People do all sorts of weird things. Some like to eat their pizza crust first, while others always put on their left shoe before their right. We all have our own little habits that make us unique. But there's a special group of men called Sigma males who have some really interesting ways of doing things. They have some pretty weird habits that most people don't know about. They don't do it on purpose, it just comes naturally to them. So let's take a look at 7 weird things that all Sigma males do. Number 1. They always have exit strategies ready for any social situation. When it comes to large social gatherings, not everyone feels right at home. Some people thrive in crowds, soaking up the attention, while others might feel a little out of place. For Sigma men, big social events can be a bit overwhelming, and they always have an exit strategy in mind. They may appear confident on the outside, but inside, they're constantly taking note of possible escape routes if things get too boring or overwhelming. You know how you instinctively map out the nearest exit when you walk into a movie theater? That's exactly how these guys think, but they take it a step further. They keep a mental checklist of possible escape routes during any social event. It's like having a secret game plan tucked away in their minds. If they spot a chatty stranger dominating the conversation or feel the party's energy going south, they know exactly how to slip away without causing a scene. But don't get it twisted, it's not about running away or dodging responsibilities. These men are practical. They understand that staying too long in uncomfortable situations can drain their energy and ruin their vibe. It's not just a habit, it's a strategy. They scan the room, noting the locations of doors, hallways, and even exits that are a little less obvious. They might size up who's around and plan their exit based on who's engaged in conversation. You might think this behavior is weird, but it's their way of feeling in control and prepared for any boring or awkward situation. They'll only use their exit strategy if they need to, but having it in mind provides them with a sense of security and comfort. Number 2. They overthink conversations long after they're over. After every social event, the Sigma male's mind continues to work overtime, dissecting every conversation and interaction. You might think it's weird, but consider this. Have you ever left a party or gathering and replayed the evening in your head? Maybe you thought about what you said, how you acted, or even how others responded. For these guys, it's a whole different level. They can spend hours analyzing who said what and why, whether they could have said something differently, and what the underlying motives might have been. What you might perceive as overthinking is actually a way for them to reflect and learn from their social experiences. This isn't about obsessing over conversations. It's more like a hobby or a mental workout. They notice things that most people might not, and they can often read between the lines. It's a strange habit, but it helps them understand people and their hidden intentions better. It's not just for their own understanding, it's about improving their skills for the next time they're in a similar situation. Number 3. They avoid taking photos or being in them. While this may seem like a strange habit to some, Sigma males have their reasons for avoiding the camera. They're not the type to constantly take selfies or post pictures on social media. In fact, they would rather not be in photos at all. Even if they're at a beautiful location or attending an event, you'll rarely find them posing for pictures. But why is that? It's not because they are camera shy, they simply don't see the need to prove their existence through pictures. Constantly taking photos takes away from fully experiencing and enjoying the present moment. Capturing the perfect moment with a photo is a must for many, but for Sigma men, it's just not their style. They simply feel that one good picture says it all. While others might snap hundreds of photos at an event, the Sigma male confidently strikes a different chord. He'll take a single shot, maybe two if he's feeling generous, and move on. But it doesn't stop there. Even when they're not behind the camera, Sigma males tend to avoid being in photos altogether. It's almost like they have an aversion to posing for pictures. You might catch them standing at the back of group photos or trying to hide behind someone else. These individuals tend to be more introverted and may not enjoy being the center of attention. Being in a photo means all eyes are on them, something that they avoid whenever possible. Number 4. They prefer pets to most people. Many Sigma males find more joy and comfort in the company of pets than people. They're not antisocial, they just have a few close friends whom they trust and enjoy being around. But when it comes to casual acquaintances or larger social groups, their interest dwindles rapidly. They're fed up with the small talk, fake relationships, and the same boring conversations that most people often engage in. They find it draining and a waste of time. especially when they could be doing something more productive. For Sigma males, pets are more than just animals, they're valued members of their inner circle. But it's not just about finding comfort in the simplicity of an animal's company. These men also share a certain bond with pets that few others can match. They appreciate their loyalty and find solace in their nonverbal communication. As introverts, this type of relationship is often preferred over the noise and chaos of social interactions. Of course, this doesn't mean they don't enjoy the company of certain people, but overall, a pet's companionship is often preferred. Think about it, pets don't carry the same baggage as people. There's no gossip, no judgment, and no small talk about the weather or boring work stories. A dog wagging its tail provides a sense of genuine companionship that can be hard to find with people. Number 5. They hate small talk but love deep discussions. Small talk can feel like running in circles. Talking about the weather, the latest sports game, or what's on TV feels pointless, like filling the air with noise without saying anything meaningful. Many people stick to these safe conversations, but they just don't cut it for those who crave something more. When it comes to chatting, some people are all about the fluff, but then there are Sigma males who dive deeper, wanting to get to know someone's thoughts, feelings, and perspectives. When a Sigma male gets stuck in a small talk cycle, their eyes might glaze over, and their minds start to wander. They're not trying to be rude, but chatting about the latest celebrity gossip barely scratches the surface of what they find interesting. What they really want is to connect on topics that spark curiosity and intellectual stimulation. That's where Sigma males thrive. While others shuffle into boring banter, these men seek out dialogues that challenge norms. If a conversation isn't stimulating, they'd much rather sit back and listen, or even change the topic entirely. They may even walk away from conversations that hold no interest for them. But when they do find someone who enjoys discussing deep topics, it's like finding a kindred spirit. They'll engage and open up, talking like old friends, even if they've just met. Number 6. They quietly leave parties without saying goodbye. Have you ever noticed how some people are just masters of slipping away unnoticed? When it comes to parties, many Sigmas take this to a whole new level. They're not the ones who hang around for big goodbyes or long hugs. They quietly gather their things and fade into the background, as if they vanished into thin air. It's almost like a magic trick, but without the flashiness or showmanship. They're not rude or avoiding people on purpose, it's more about comfort. The idea of saying goodbye feels awkward, and they might dread the attention that comes with it, so they prefer to exit like a shadow without any fuss or fanfare. It's just how they are, and most people who know them understand this and don't take it personally. But for those who don't know them well, it can really throw them off. While it may seem strange to others, Sigma males simply don't feel the need for formalities or big goodbyes. It's just another way they prioritize their own peace and independence. Number 7. They rarely use emojis or exclamation points in texts. While most people pile on the smiley faces and excitement-filled punctuation, Sigma males keep it straightforward. You'll find their texts are often calm and precise, missing all the flashy extras that others rely on. This isn't because they have a bland personality, it's more about their preference for clarity and directness. Emojis can be a bit confusing. One smiley can mean happiness, but it can also be a sarcastic response depending on the context. For Sigma males, that kind of ambiguity can be frustrating. They prefer to use words to convey their message without the added layer of interpretation that comes with emojis. In the same way, exclamation points might come off as a bit much. Sigma males would rather get straight to the point without any unnecessary embellishments. If they ever do use an exclamation point, it's most likely to emphasize something truly exciting or important. However, this doesn't mean that Sigma males are completely devoid of emotions or excitement. It just means that they express themselves differently and prefer to use words rather than symbols to convey their feelings. If you found these insights helpful, feel free to leave a comment. If you're unsure about what to say, simply write "done" to let us know you watched until the end. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we invite you to subscribe now and become part of our channel. Thank you for your attention. Until next time.